What's up, guys? Hard Pirates TCG here, and we are doing another video with the VV Theory, just going over one of these games. This one's actually Crocodile versus Zoro, so obviously I'm the big Crocodile guy. Everyone knows that. You know, I got my start with Blurple Crocodile, and I think Blue Crocodile is going to be incredibly meta next set. But James, you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, what's up, guys? VV Theory here. Cannot wait to get into this game.
Yep. So we are playing this at one-time speed just so we can give our commentary in a way that doesn't feel rushed, or, you know, we're not like, you know, missing some plays and whatnot. But so this is the championship from Japan. By the way, I've been watching like all of these videos. I think they're so fun to watch. You know, like obviously they have a little bit of a different meta than us, but it feels like they have so many different decks that are being played, even with Rad Beam and Newgate unlimited over there, you know, because, you know, when you watch these videos, you see, you know, Queen versus Zoro, you see Doflamingo versus Newgate, you see Crocodile versus Zoro. Like, there's just a lot of weird matchups that you see on these championships. I wonder if they do that on purpose or it just happens to be like that.
Yeah, and okay, and the Zoro player is going to start off with a buggy search that goes into a Whitebeard Pirate search that's going to go into a... What's he gonna get, Marco?
More than likely Marco. And and guys, this in this format in Japan, Marco is still at 4, so you're gonna be seeing a lot of Marcos here. You're gonna be seeing a lot of Rad Beams here. And then our Crocodile player on the left is playing Sobbles. Now, when James and I were first, like, before we started recording this, we were like, I wonder why he's playing Sobbles.
We're like, what?
So for those of you guys who don't know, Sobbles has seen almost no play. It comes in the starter deck of STO3, and it's activate main. It's 4 cost, bounces a 7 cost to the owner's hand, and then the trigger is activate its main. You know, kind of similar to like Jet Pistol, except for way worse. So, and so he's playing that. I wonder what he's playing it for. He is playing the Sentomaru engine, which is incredibly vulnerable to Fire Fist, which is in the Zoro's hand, unfortunately.
And he's got double Rad Beam in hand, so you know he's going to have no problem trashing one to get this off the board.
Exactly. He's got a...
Does he do it now? Yeah, I would keep developing the board here.
Yeah. So he goes ahead and takes that first life, and he triggers into, it looks like a Sasaki, which is a 2k counter that, you know, is technically a mulligan as well. Then he's going to play Teach and pass his turn. Teach, I think, is just such a good card, especially if there's if the meta is more mid-range. He's like a +3 or like a +2 because he draws you a card and basically gets a card out of your opponent's hand in the process, or takes a life, and the card that he discards to draw the card already got its value from searching and the attack. So I just think it provides so much value to resources, and he's just a big body to defend a 4/6.
Oh, here we go.
Yep.
Doing the Sentomaru search.
Sentomaru goes ahead and searches for Pacifista. What I usually do with Pacifista is I look to see what cards could be in my trash. And that's kind of, or not my trash, my life.
In your life.
Yep. Yeah. And that's what he's doing right now. He's obviously going to search the Pacifista,
sure.
But he's kind of looking at his, you know, his 3 or 4 ofs. Okay, what's in my trash? Is it a Red Rock? Is it, you know, is it a Kaido? Is it a Mihawk? Kind of just looking at your big ratios like that. Give you a good idea. That's the best part about playing Sentomaru in real life is you can, and there's no rule of like how long it can take. I think it could take like, I think the turn, one single action, according to judges, is 3 minutes per action. So you have technically 3 minutes to look at your deck to see what's in your life. But, you know, in tournaments, you might be able to get away with 4 or 5 minutes, you know, depending.
Yeah. And yeah, he's definitely he's counting everything, and he's got a really good idea he knows what's in his life now. No doubt about it.
Absolutely. Like, absolutely. The way that he was searching for it, and the thing is, he kept going back to, like, at first he was counting his Kaidos, and then he was counting his Mihawks, then he was counting his Red Rocks. So he has a good idea. Okay, this is probably, I have you know, more than likely a few counters in my life, and, you know, maybe a Red Rock or, you know, a 3000 Worlds or whatever. So he knows that there's some good stuff in his life, more than likely. He's gonna go ahead and swing 5 at life here. He's gonna go ahead and take this one, bring him down to 3.
Zoro's fine with that.
Yep, life's into a Gordon, and goes ahead and passes with 2 Dawn up. Nothing he can do for 2 Dawn, it looks like. I guess he's trying to trick the Love Beam, or what's it called, Love Melody, or Love Beam. Yeah, or maybe even Overheat, if that's popular over there.
Right.
The thing is, though, like, Love doesn't do anything, so it's like baiting a card that, like, doesn't really provide any value. Like, you didn't, if it was the first life, I'd understand, because everyone, like, takes their first life for free. But this Crocodile player did not know that he was going to take this second life. He could have easily countered out with a 1k. Um, So or maybe even that Jozu in hand. So I think the smartest play would have just gone 7 there and not, waste any Dawn. But that's
Absolutely.
just me.
No, I completely agree with that. And like one thing I will say back to the Sentomaru thing real quick, it's so nice to see interactions like that in the games because, okay, number one, like you said, we're getting to see what's in our life cards. Number two, we're thinning our deck out of the pacifistas and like drawing more and more stuff, and it's generating card value at the same time. I hope they continue to print cards like that. Okay, so we got an EZO search coming in here. Okay, right.
And I know Pokemon is very similar, right? Like, Pokemon has prizes, and I know there's rules in Pokemon where you're allowed to kind of like search your deck and kind of like get a good idea of what's in your prizes. In Yu-Gi-Oh, it's crazy in different card games what it is. It's like softcore cheating in Yu-Gi-Oh, but in these card games it's completely allowed. So Zoro's gonna go ahead and swing 6 at life here. He's gonna get met with a 2K counter Sasaki. And then he's going to go ahead and swing 7 here. More than likely take this one right here. No need to discard. Or maybe he does. Maybe he does discard it because the Kaya thing is though, like,
I would take.
Yeah, I would take it too. So yeah, not a problem at all. And looks like he's going to go ahead and Gordon Fire Fist this. Yep, 4 Dawn up. Gordon's going to go ahead and minus the Pacifista to 3,000. Fire Fist is going to discard a Rad Beam, which doesn't feel good, but I mean, to advance the board state.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Croc's not exactly a fast deck, so that he's okay with that, I'm sure.
Yeah.
And he still has the 1 in hand.
Yep. To advance the board state, you kind of have to, because that, Sentomaru in certain matchups, if you're not like against yellow, Sentomaru is like one of the best cards in the deck, just because like they have no answer to deal with him, and you're just getting free bodies every turn. But against decks like Zoro, he's just very vulnerable. So if you can deal with him, you might as well, before he just keeps getting value.
Yeah, I agree. Because I would even argue you have to deal with him if it's possible. Because if you don't, like you said, the card value, it just becomes too much. And he's thinning out the deck. He's generating so much value. And putting a 6K on the board, or a 5K on the board, or a 6K is anything like that is strong. Okay, what is he? He's going to swing 5
5
here.
at life here. He has access to 7 Dawns. I wonder what he's going to do for 7.
Yeah.
Probably just the Sentomaru, honestly. Sentomaru is actually 6. Actually, I don't understand that, because Sentomaru is 6 Dawn.
Yeah.
If you play Sentomaru and use his effect on the same turn, it is a 6 Dawn investment.
I think he's going to Dofi and do... Oh, wait, no, he's tapping 7.
Soga King. Okay.
Oh, I didn't even see that in his hand.
I didn't see the Soga King either. I thought it was a Mihawk. So, going to go ahead and draw into a Mihawk and a Pacifista. Honestly, I think it's probably just best to discard the Sentomaru here. I think you're at a point where, you're not really going to play him anymore. So discard, I would discard probably the Sobbles and like the Sentomaru from his hand. Because look, he has Mihawk and he has a 10-drop Kaido. So when is he ever going to have the chance to play the Sentomaru again?
Yeah, and he can even get the Sobbles back with Missile Sunday, right? Or wait, let me see something.
No, absolutely. No. Yep. Missile Sunday can get back any event in the trash.
Okay, yeah,
you have to be blue,
so.
Which is great.
Yes. So that just makes sense. Yeah. So trash that and trash the. I completely agree with the Sentomaru trash too. Yep. Yeah, and look, that's exactly what he does. It just makes sense. It's almost like we know what we're talking about. It's almost like
it's almost like we play One Piece at a pretty decent level.
Like religiously.
I obviously haven't been to a lot of big tournaments, but the 2 that I've been to, I did pretty well. I finished top 128 both times, and the second time I got bubbled out of top 64. So with this format, with OP04, when there's decks that I think require more skill than just beat your face in, again, Zoro and Whitebeard. I think I'm going to be doing a lot better at tournaments, so I'm pretty excited about this as well. And
I should be going to some too, this in OP04.
Exactly. You haven't played in a single high level tournament yet, but you were a very high level, Magic player and Hearthstone player, so.
Yeah, and L5R. Unfortunately, that game died off. But that game, that was like my prime there. But I'll definitely be playing an OP04. It's just a matter of getting around to it.
Exactly. And any online Treasure Cup or regional I'm trying to play in.
Yeah.
I could not be more excited for this meta right here. So look at this board state right here. I think the Zoro I think is in a horrible position. Not only does he have 2 life, but he only has 2 characters. Obviously, he has Makino and all that, but he doesn't really have any offense. I guess, you want him to start establishing bodies on the board, which he's going to do with Marco, but Marco's basically going to, do nothing. He's just going to play Marco, and Marco can get Mihawked. So it's like anything he plays, he's going into 9 Dawn because he played 7 with Sogeking right there. Anything he plays that's big is going to get Mihawked. So like establishing a board, he can't really do that in a way that's efficient for his Dawn.
And I think what I would have done, this is just me, I would have swung 5 with Zoro. You're going to swing with him anyway. I wouldn't have put the 1 Dawn on. I would have actually dropped a Marco and the 4 cost the teach he has. That's a teach at the top, right? At the top, right under the guard point.
Yeah.
I think that's a teach. And because like you said, something is getting bottom deck next turn. It doesn't matter. Point. Like, you know, so just anything to get, you know, just flood the board with the board with bodies because I guess we're about to see though. Who knows? I haven't seen this game either, or if I have, I can't remember it because I watch a lot of these as well. Okay, and he's just smash. Yeah, I don't think this is the I don't think this is the way.
Yeah. So the thing is, like, yeah, he's getting him to discard cards in hand, maybe even taking that life. That's fine. But like establishing a board state is just so much better in this situation because you already lost the tempo. Now, if you had 5 1-drops on the board, like of course you can spread out your Dawn and like attack in efficient ways or 4. But like the fact that you only have 2, like you're gonna establish. Look, he's gonna play this Marco right here or he's gonna play the Teach. Either way, they're both dead. He's gonna wipe his whole board this turn, and you know he might go down very well to 1 life. But after he clears his board, he can stabilize immediately with the Miss All Sundays, and I think that's what he's gonna be able to do here. He's gonna like what he should do is just swing 5 or 6 at the buggy. You know, he has no Dawn up, so Buggy's pretty much dead. I assume Usopp's like ranged or something like that.
He's ranged. Yeah, he had to make sure it wasn't like he's checking like that's not a slasher, is it?
No, I always look. Yeah, I always look. Yep. And then he's gonna swing 5 at the Izo. Izo's gonna go down, and now it's time to Mihawk him. And it's just look, his whole board is cleared. And you're right. If he would have established the Marco and then the Teach, that would have been a lot different. Then he would have had the next turn. He would have had still the 1-drops, the Buggy and the Izo, and then he would have had either the Marco or the Teach, whatever he valued. The Zoro or the Mihawk player valued Mihawk, whatever the Crocodile thought was more of a threat, you know, or less of a threat. And then going into Zoro's turn, he has a Makino as well, so like he can like boost up the Buggy, like he could go all out right there, which I think is just a better play overall.
Yeah, because this feels horrible. If you're the Zoro player, you're actually considering scooping right here, I think. Because, okay, like you said, he's got 2 Marcos in hand and 2 5-cost Marcos. That's kind of confusing anyone listening. He's got 2 4-cost blocker Marcos and 2 5-cost, KO Marcos. And it's just not going to be enough. It's not going to be fast enough. And he's only swinging for 6 here? Wait, let's see. I feel like you have to swing for at least 8. Or excuse me, 7 or 9. Like you have to like.
Well, he doesn't have any 2Ks. He doesn't have any 2Ks in hand, so he's probably just gonna take this.
Oh, then he got lucky. You know what I mean? Because that's one where it's like you have to force a life here so that you can hopefully win next turn. Because he's gonna have to leave 2 Dawn up for the guard point and the Rad Beam, or else he might just lose. You know. So I know he's got a Jozu.
So one of my things that I always harp on is, you know, when people lose the game, when people are losing the game, they start playing in ways to like prolong their loss rather than playing for a small chance of winning. And at this point, you like if you're a Zoro player, and I was actually at the regionals, I was put in this situation like 3 or 4 different times, and I actually got every single one of them when I got all of those wins when I was able to do it. But I was put in positions where I like couldn't fight for board because either they had like, you know, a lot of tempo or, you know, they just had too many bodies. So I was like, I'm gonna swing, you know, 10-10 and put you on a clock where if you don't kill me or you can't like stabilize next turn, then you automatically lose. And that's what he needs to do. You know, even at this point, you know, establishing the body is important, but you know, swinging 9 and then 9, you know, or swinging 9, dropping a Marco or dropping, you know, whatever, and then, you know, trying to just put him on a clock because he doesn't have a whole lot of cards in hand. Putting him on the clock is just like what he needs to do to try to win. Because right now he's going to play very defensively. He's probably going to play. Oh yeah, he saved 9 down up. He's gonna play double Marco right here and save one for Rad Beam. Yep,
that's it.
And now look, he can just play Kaido. He can bounce one of them back. He can use Croc's effect, bounce the other one back, and he can just swing. You know, he could just pretty much just murder the other player's board.
And did you see he countered out, by the way, even swinging 6, he just went double Miss All Sunday, just counter out 2 1Ks.
That's fair.
Or I think that's what it was. And it's like now, like you're saying, there is no potential for the Zoro player to win, I don't think. I mean, I can't think of anything in my mind. Like the Crocodile player would have to just misplay at this point to lose.
Yeah. I don't see a way where he wins this because the Makino in hand is providing him no value. even the rad beam is just kind of delaying the inevitable right here.
Why didn't he bounce the Marcos first? That's strange to me.
I'm not sure. You know, sometimes the play can change depending on what they do or if they take life early or not.
Yeah.
That's the cool part about One Piece is like the sequencing, you know. There's no battle phase, there's no main phase, you know. It's just all okay. I'm going to do this. If you do something in return that I think is weird, I'm going to punish you for it by playing this. And he's going to go ahead and play the going to go ahead and play the Kaido, bounce the Marco back. And then the and then I literally just said
exactly what we were saying.
Yep, yeah. The Crocodile is going to use his effect, Dawn -4, bounce the other one, and now he's going to swing 6, get that Makino out of hand, or more than likely the Jozu, because the Jozu just isn't providing him any value. At least the Makino could.
Right. Yeah, no, you're right. He should not be using the Makino here. He should have used the Jozu.
Yep, and then 9, he's going to take that one automatically, unless, I mean, he could Rad Beam Marco this, but, I mean, it's just... The thing is, like, if you're going to take this life, what do you want it to be? What will win you this game out of life? And I don't think at this point anything will.
No.
Unless he like runs into like Zoros and like Luffy's, like the Rush characters. Because the only thing that can save him here is Rush. Like a Shanks maybe, I don't know, something like that.
Well, and it would have to be, yeah. Well, even that because he's got 2 life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
even then it wouldn't help.
Yeah, there's just no way out, and that's where. I feel like there were so many different things the Zoro player could have done in the beginning, and I'm not trying to be too judgmental. People make mistakes. You know, we have the benefit of seeing both players' hands, but you know how it is. Like, you want to establish a board with Zoro, or else this is going to happen against a blue player. You know they're going to bounce a card every turn, starting on turn 3. Like, it's just it is guaranteed. You know,
yeah.
And then now we're at the point where don't get me wrong. Once this Kaido hit the board, it'd have bounced all the little guys out of the way anyway.
Yep, he's gonna counter out with the Rad Beam and the Marco.
Yeah.
Yep. So no, I agree. Like, I don't want to be too critical because obviously everyone makes mistakes. I've made plenty of mistakes. There's no denying that.
Me too.
But like when I'm commentating, I want our viewers to be as like informed as possible. Like, hey, like, because sometimes people don't respond to just like, hey, you probably should have done that there. Be like, yo, like, you messed up, bro. Like, that was huge. Like, that cost you, you know? And you know, when you put it like that, sometimes you like need to make things obvious for some people to understand like the mistake, you know, because
education is everything.
And the thing is, like, there's some people, like, I actually am coaching a couple people right now. I know you're getting into coaching, but I'm coaching a couple people right now where, you know, small things that I've taught them,
they add up.
One of my people that I'm coaching, one of my students, I guess you can call him, just texted me today saying that he went 3-1 with Kuro. And, you know,
nice.
and that's great, you know. And you know, when we started out, he was like, yeah, I keep going like, you know, 2-2, 1-3, and you know, with just small little things that you teach people, they can just like drastically change their results, you know. So like, just if people just made like 2 less mistakes per game, they'd probably like win a tournament every now and then, you know. And then just if you cut your mistakes down to like 1 per game and maybe even 0, now you're in, you know, very, very top percentile range.
It's true.
Yep. He's gonna go ahead and play Izo, search for the Marco. Marco's not really gonna do anything right here.
Yeah, it's too little too late, unfortunately.
So like, what is Marco gonna do? I guess, what is he just going to play the blocker Marcos again and just try to hope they just don't get bounced? Is that kind of his route here?
Yeah, you definitely just, I mean, if this guy's still trying to win the game, of course he is. That's your only option. You have to just play the Marcos. There is no better play in hand. Like we were saying earlier, by the way, he should have had the Otama in hand still, which would have maybe gave him the chance this next turn to try to do something with that Izo. But okay, he's swinging just 5 here.
5 here. So he has what, 9 Dawn left. So I think he's gonna literally do the exact same play. He's gonna play double Marco and save 1 for guard point.
Yep, 100%.
I think it's literally the exact same play that he did. Yep. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
And in all fairness, he has no other play.
No, absolutely. Yeah. But you know, a lot of this stems to like
the early mistakes.
Yeah, the early. We are so in sync right now. Yep.
We're on the same page.
Yep. All this stems to I should have played Teach and Marco 4 turns before. You know.
Yes. And now, we're seeing now the result. And again, the Zoro player might still have lost, but it doesn't matter. The correct play was the correct play. You know.
And I honestly think the Zoro player would have won if he did do that, because
very
not
possibly.
only was like, if he established 2 bodies, he would have still had 2 bodies, you know, like the Zoro player might have taken like 1 or 2 more life. Who would have knows? Like maybe he would have used a rad beam earlier. I'm not sure, but like the Zoro player would have had 3 bodies and his leader attack after he plays Mihawk, and he would have had to attack his life to give him more resources to be able to defend those bodies. And he would have been able to swing even taller with his characters, because now he would have been able to put that Makino to good use by boosting the buggy. That Izo could have maybe attacked for 6 rather than 5, you know. And now he didn't have 2Ks in hand, so now what if he's at 0 life? Does the game change then? Absolutely.
And do you see what the Crocodile player is doing? He's in the same situation as he was last time, where he can just get rid of the entire board. He has a red rock in hand, and he gets Crocodile to get rid of these 2 blockers, but he wants the cards out of the Zoro player's hands. He wants to give the Zoro player the false hope that, yeah, you're going to keep those Marcos, and maybe next turn you can beat me. No, you can't.
Absolutely.
I'm gonna eat your whole hand, and you're gonna sit on 2 dead cards next turn.
No, don't attack with this. Don't attack with this. Don't attack with this. No.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I mean, he ended up taking the life anyway, so it doesn't matter that much, but.
Yeah, and he'll take this one too, because he knows it's all in next turn. But here's what he doesn't understand: he's about to lose both of these Marcos. I think I could be wrong. We'll see what's going on through these guys' heads. That's how I would play it, though.
No, absolutely. I mean,
that is a red rock, right?
Yeah, that's a red rock. So and he knows it too. Like next turn's the last turn anyway. He's gonna try to just at least try to kill him. You know, he doesn't have any blockers out, and then he's gonna go ahead and get red rocked, and then Croc's effect. He's gonna be at no dawn basically the next turn, but he has a 12k and a 9k on the field, so he should be just fine.
Yeah, this is interesting the way he's got his Dawn spread. He's got it in a 5-3 pile. Is he going to go Dofi? Or Miss All Sunday, maybe?
I don't know. I mean, I don't think there's a reason to...
That's interesting.
Okay.
This is very interesting, Joey. Very interesting here.
You know, and that actually could cost him too, because if he had a fire fist here, that would actually cost him.
Yeah,
you know,
and remember what we were saying with the Makino too. If you had the Makino still, so many compounding issues.
Oh my goodness, isn't it crazy how we notice this type of stuff? Like, you know, cards you discarded for counter 4 turns ago could have actually won you the game like 4 turns later.
Oh yeah,
you know, because the safest play here is you have 2 life. Obviously, you do play 2 blockers, but they can easily get met with a fire fist. But if you bottom deck 1 Marco and bounce the other, he has to do 3 damage with an Izo and his leader, and you know,
something from hand.
Something else, which is like almost impossible, right? You know, especially because if you would have kept those 2 in hand, you would have had he has a Mihawk in hand too, so he'd have 4k worth of counter. It's pretty much impossible.
Yeah, and then whatever 2 cards he gets from his life.
So that was actually, now he obviously used the Crocodile's effect, but you know, I still think if he has a Makino here, then he can definitely, like, a Makino and a Fiery Doll can definitely put you in the lethal threshold. Absolutely.
Yep. Or even a Rush Luffy, whatever his name, the 5-cost Luffy, something like that.
Yeah.
What do we got here?
And that's what he's looking for right now. He's looking for a Fire Fist. I mean, I don't think it matters anyway.
Get some Whitebeard Pirates. He can keep searching, I guess.
Well, Whitebeard Pirates can only find characters.
Can I get characters? That's right. Oof,
yep.
Yeah. He's in a bad spot.
Yeah, I think he just loses this, honestly.
Yeah. And we kind of knew, right? The writing was on the wall by what? 4 turns ago, 3 or 4 turns ago. It's like, okay, because of the decisions that were made at this point, you know, and the matchup too. I don't know. What do you think about this matchup? Like, you play more Crocodile than I do. Is Zoro a preferable matchup, or is it 50-50, or is it under?
Honestly, it depends on how you build the deck, you know, because, you know, sometimes I build, like, I can build a Crocodile deck that'll absolutely murder Whitebeard and film Dofi and Rebecca, and then, like, you can lose to cards or decks like Zoro and Law. Or you can play like the more like balanced kind of version where you play the new ulti, you play cards, you know, that can deal with little characters, you know, and, you know, it's not like relying on, you know, Mihawk and 10-drop Kaido and all that. That has a more balanced matchup, but it's not just like an auto win, you know? So it looks like his version is like kind of like a hybrid, because he's playing obviously the 10-drop Kaido, he's playing
the big boys,
you know, the big boys, but he's also playing the Sentomaru, which I actually have been testing out a Sentomaru build that I liked as well. So but to answer your question straight, I think Crocodile actually is favored in this matchup, and the reason I say that is because like he has to use Gordon Fiery Doll or Gordon Fire Fist to get rid of the Sentomaru package, and every time that he attacks the Crocodile's life, Crocodile now has access to multiple cards that can bottom deck his little characters to swing the tempo back in his favor, with Red Rock that can bottom deck a 4 and 3,000 Worlds that can bottom deck a 3, you know, on top of just, you know, being able to stall until Mihawk. Now they can't get that body off the board, and, you know, the recursion with Miss All Sunday. Like, there's just a lot of stuff that you can do.
Yeah, I think the same way. Like, I really do think that it's slightly favorable for the Crocodile. Like, it's, and when I say slightly favorable, it's like, here you guys playing those Marcos. I guess it is his only chance. But, you know, it's like, how do I say it? If you can somehow get a fast enough start against Crocodile, okay, sure. You know what I mean? But if you let him set up, if you're making it to turn 5, turn 6, turn 7, that Zoro player is not in a preferable, you know, not in a great spot.
And I'm sorry to interrupt you, but this is where the Red Rock comes. And as you can see, he's actually playing Dragon Twister, which is the event that bottom decks at 1 cost, and it's a plus 4,000. He just drew that for turn, but this is where the Red Rock's going to come into handy. He has 6 Dawn. He's going to go ahead and bottom deck the Marco, and then just use Crocodile's effect. I mean, that's the best.
Go for route. Game here, right?
Yeah, he has to. He has to. But I don't like this play where he just attacks
where he swings first
because Well, guys, like, you know your play for success. Like, you know it, you know? Like,
and there's nothing he can do, right?
Yeah.
Like,
you mathematically, mathematically, he can't do it.
There is nothing that can be done. I mean, I guess maybe he's thinking, like, okay, no, I still don't like it. I agree. Like, I would have used my Marco there to block.
Honestly,
if I was this other guy.
I would consider that too, because like the Marco's not staying on the board. I understand like plays change depending, because I did say that earlier. Plays change depending, but this is the last turn. You know how to kill him. You Red Rock, and then you bounce the other one. You swing 12, 9, 6, 5, and then there's literally no math that gets him out of that. His 4, no. He had 5 cards in hand, or 4 cards in hand.
And in all fairness, you know, maybe that is the tech. Like, if you do all the math, maybe it is the right play to be like, okay, if I get him to drop his mark, well, I don't know. Still, no, there's no way, because you've got the card in hand to do what we're trying to do. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. I think it's definitely, you pay 6 for Red Rocks. Now all your Dawn's rested. You -4, and you go next game.
Because look, he could have just, if he swung 6 right there, he could have just blocked. Now, yeah. And then honestly, like, he could have just blocked, and then obviously he can Red Rock the other one, but like he would have at least had like the extra 2K in hand, if that would have helped. I mean, I don't know. I mean, maybe it didn't matter, but it just feels not good. So he's gonna go ahead 9 life. He's gonna get met with. He should like guard point and
does he have Jozu still? No, that's
yeah. Never mind.
Rat Bean. Okay, and 12. Good game.
Yep.
Yeah, no way out of it.
So yeah, that I think it was a weird way to end the game right there, but I mean, he ended up getting it, and it's just simple mistakes that you make very early in the game would really just change the tide of how the game flows. It's as simple as that.
These 2 guys on the right, man, I love the faces the one guy makes in the middle, man.
Oh, I love it. Yeah. Do you have any final thoughts, James?
Well, first, let me do 2 things. Number 1, I love seeing these big blue cards. Like, okay, coming from someone who like is going to be playing a lot of Rebecca, right? I'll be playing a lot of Rebecca in OP04. I don't get to play those blue cards until probably OP05 when Sakazuki comes out. So I'm very jealous to see those cards right now. I've already ordered them. I'm ready to go. But that's number 1. And number 2, these games are so good to watch, to learn. Like, number 1 for new players to learn One Piece, but not just that. Also, players who are trying to get better. You guys can see both hands of players who are very good. Like that last game we just watched, there was a 3-1. Yeah, they were both 3-1 at a major tournament like this. So I don't want to go on for too long about that, but yeah, that's kind of what I want to end on. But I hope you guys do enjoy this, and please leave us comments in the comment section below. Tell us what you think, or if we missed anything. I always like to mention that if we miss anything, tell us.
Yes, please. Yeah, go ahead, guys. James's Discord is going to be, or not Discord, his YouTube is going to be in the description below, as always. Loved having him on. Obviously, he's going to be a mainstay on the channel. You know, obviously with our podcast he's on. Him and I are good friends in real life, so I think our chemistry is off the charts, and we'll probably do a bunch of more videos like this, you know, as the format develops. So, guys, take it easy, and we'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.